Hey everyone, Luke the Duke Grimm here. Welcome to another episode of Bullshit Shenanigans, the show where I just talk about whatever comes to mind. Now, the title of this video is an aggravating one. So as I'm sitting here recording this on June 29th, apparently, it's Heterosexual Pride Day. What the fuck does this mean? It's kind of a pot shot at Pride Month. This is kind of the same thing you in February around Black History Month, where it's like, well, why can't we have a White History Month? Why can't we do this? Why can't... Listen, here's why. Here is why. Because, oh God, I'm trying to form my thoughts all at the same time because this is a really aggravating topic to me personally. You guys have heard my rants about LGBTQ related issues in episode 3 and in episode 8 in the last one, in Pulse. Here's the thing. Straight, white, cisgendered, heterosexual people have privilege. Big time. Now, I enjoy some of that being white and cisgender. And I really don't like using the word enjoy, but it's kind of comes that way, not intentionally. Because we do not have to really worry about so much. So, my friends, I have a couple of friends, actually, I will go ahead and name drop one. Gage Tyler, I will link him in the description, was just looking for a new apartment for he and his husband. And so right there, he's got a few strikes against him as far as being treated fairly. Which, should just be human nature, should just be natural. But, Gage is married to a man. I will not assume his sexuality. I'm not sure. I've never talked to him personally about it. But he is married to a man, identifies as a male, and is transgender. So already we have a couple things there. Boy's been through some shit. So when I see bullshit like Heterosexual Pride Day coming up, it aggravates me on a level that it's like, you don't need that. It's not needed. Because Pride is not about, yes, I'm whatever sexual orientation you are. Because there are a shit ton out there. That is the thing. And it's not just Tumblr creations. It's not just, stay away from Tumblr if you don't want to hear. No. There are more. Science is leaning towards this. This is what I'm going into as a psychologist in training here, is we're looking at shit like this. And we've come a long way. I'll get to that in another video. I might just do another one after I record this. So anyhow, pride is a sense of living your life the way you want to live. This is my definition of pride here. It's living your life the way you want to live it, despite having X amount of strikes against you in society. And unfortunately, at least in American society, I'll qualify that. Pride is a universal thing, but here's what it means in my eyes, as I've experienced it. This is not a blanket definition. Do not take my word for the gospel. Okay? Okay. So, if you are gay, you are bisexual, transgender, pansexual, lesbian, whatever you are, that is already something against the norm. Because our society tends towards heterosexuality. Why does it? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Find it and let me know, or I'll look for it, and we can have a talk, whatever. If you do not identify with the sex you were assigned at birth, that's another one. And this isn't just transgender people like my friend Gage. This could be genderqueer people, this can be agender people, gender fluid people. The list goes on and on and on. And already that's another thing. I have a friend, I'll just use their first name, Avery, who I met them when they identified as male, and I'm trying to use the correct pronouns, so if I fuck it up, I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try and edit it. It's like, okay, yeah, pronouns are fucking weird. But I'm trying. um, and they occasionally wear, like, skirts and clothing that is typically associated with women. Not that there's anything wrong with that. To my knowledge, they're not a drag queen or anything. They're not, whatever. It's just part of their life. What the fuck ever. Do you? But unfortunately, I have seen him get looks from people, and those looks aren't necessarily like, oh shit, that's awesome. It's like, huh? Like the weirded out kind of, dude, what the fuck? Kind of thing. So that can be a strike against people. So living out loud, living the life that you want to live, so long as you're not hurting anyone else, that's what I'm all about. I referenced that in episode 8 in the Pulse talk. So coming back to this mess, and I'm poking around on my Facebook here, just some of these are ridiculous. I mean, the quote that I referenced, it's an anonymous quote to my knowledge. Gay pride was not born out of a need to celebrate being gay, but instead our right to exist without prosecution. So maybe, instead of wondering why there isn't a straight pride month or movement, straight people should be thankful they don't need one. That basically sums it up. That, and it's a fucking month out of year. Come on, guys. Come on. You have that the rest of the fucking year? Give us all a break, please. Jesus. Okay, so I have gotten into arguments with people, and I have lost a couple of friends over fighting this topic. Because I don't like to argue too much, because it tends, with some people that I'm around, to devolve into screaming matches, and it's not my thing. That's not how I like to roll. But I have had someone be like, well, why can't we be proud of being straight? You're... Of course, then when you bring up the privilege thing, they get really pissed. Denying privilege is a form of exhibiting it, and here is why. A little thing called open-mindedness. I remember I had an American Culture Studies class 2 years ago now. No, oh my god, wow. Year and a half ago. That's it. That's the one. And we read an article called Check Your Privilege. And it was kind of like reinforcing, like, hey, some people get passes in society. I've been one of them. We all have those in different societies, in different contexts, in different cultures. Some people get that kind of push, get that kind of pass. Others have to fight for it, which makes it all the more awesome when they succeed and they do awesome shit. And then everyone else is just like, well, what's so special about that? It's like, because X, Y, and Z. Should that define that person? No. But it's still something like, hey, despite all of this bullshit, I still did X, Y, and Z. Alright, awesome. So, again, this whole... I'm just looking... One of my friends... I'll let her know I'm using her quote. But a friend of mine, Erica, said, alright, who are the bigoted assholes that decided today would be hashtag heterosexual pride day? Y'all can't let anyone have anything, can you? Y'all just hated the idea of having a whole 30 days for LGBT individuals, so you wait until one of the very last days of the month to pull this? Nope. Heterosexual pride day would be great if it addressed heterosexual privileges, but it doesn't. And it really doesn't. It is a denial of privilege, which actually does kind of acknowledge it. It's like, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. Like, no. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Let's see. I'm looking at some other... Oh. I'm just, like, scrolling through. I'm going to cut a few things out. So there's one post in the trending topic. He says, there's no reason to affiliate the term pride with only a single group. Anyone should be entitled to be proud of themselves for something. Okay. Generally speaking, that is not wrong. Taking pride in your work, taking pride in your family, taking pride in X, Y, Z. You're not wrong. In the context that is used when talking about LGBTQ issues, pride does have a little different meaning. which we talked about. Just, if you need an explanation better than I can ever give it in this podcast, I want you to go to, oh man, one of my favorite comedians, Bo Burnham, did a song in one of his most recent specials called Straight White Male. And it directly attacks privilege. It's funny. It's really funny, but it makes you think, like, damn, wait a minute. Like, it sounds ridiculous if you listen to the lyrics in that. Actually, let me pull it up real quick. But it's, my friends showed me that special, and I didn't watch the whole thing because I had to go. But it was just so funny. So, here, pulling up the lyrics. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Like, actually. Everyone thinks that I've got it easy. Just because it's true doesn't mean that it's right. So pull up a chair and put down your pitchfork. Give me a chance to show you what it's like to be a straight white male. It already sounds a little ridiculous. I'm going to go back up a couple of verses. I state my problems, other people roll their eyes. 3 trips to the mall and 0 khakis in my size. I'm not even sure that's a straight guy problem or straight white male problem. That's just a first world problem. Whatever. I've never been the victim of a random search of drugs, but you can't say my life is easy until you walked a mile in my Uggs. That line had me rolling, laughing. Let's see. The verse after that. Straight white male, I know the road looks tough ahead. The women want rights, the gays want kids. Can't you just leave us alone? And also no to the things you asked for. Because making a stink of something that's important to us, that's a problem, right? Accepting the norm, accepting the way things have always been, that's some dangerous shit. So, I'm not even sure I'm done with this rant properly. But it's just fucking frustrating when it's like, oh, they're gonna have this, like, straight pride. And then I see, like, some of my Facebook friends. I have over 900 Facebook friends. And I see, like, a couple of them posting bullshit about, like, straight pride. I'm just like, oh, come on. Come on. I thought you were better than this. And then I see they're Trump supporters. It's like, okay, you're done. God. It's just, I'm not even sure what to say. Other than really realize the struggle that we've had, which you really won't understand it. I hold on to the belief of, I believe it was Carl Rogers, who had his views on empathy, that we will never truly understand what someone else has gone through. I could tell you my entire life story in a podcast one day. You still aren't going to understand everything that happened. Because you didn't live it, you weren't there, you only know so much of the story. So before you start assuming that it's just about, pride in the sense of being who you are, well, that's part of it, but it's also, hey, we've been held down by society and we're not going to fucking take this. And if you're going to sit there and bitch because you're privileged and someone's calling you out on that privilege, think about what that means. And at best, try not to sound like that spoiled kid who didn't get the right color iPhone at Christmas. That's what I have to say there. Alright, kids, I'm done with this one. Thank you so much for listening to me rant and bitch. Because when I saw this, I'm like, okay, this is podcast material here. This is bullshit and shenanigans material. Because it's bullshit and fucking shenanigans. It needed to happen. I needed a vent. And I feel a little better now. Alright, thank you guys so much for listening. I will catch you guys next time, whatever I decide to make. My name is Luke the Duke Graham. See you next time. Bye!